topic is I can triumph with personal power. And today I'm going to just do some teaching, right? I just want to make sure that we are getting some lessons. I have my notes here with me, and I want to make sure that I'm helping you to build the muscle of your personal power. What exactly is personal power anyway? I'm so glad you asked. So, personal power is the ability to influence others as well as the circumstances in your life. I want to let that sit for a minute because so many times we don't realize that we have the power to overcome the personal things the circumstances we've gone through in our lives. We do. We do have that power. So many times I'm asked, do you have any regrets about different things in your life, things that you've been through? Hi, Mac Patty. I've been through a lot. And yes, there was a time that I said I was regretful. But here's the thing that I've learned after working on myself, after, doing the work, going through therapy, getting coaches, and doing a lot of personal development. This is one of the reasons this channel was birthed, for me to continue to give and to share to help individuals build their muscle around mental fitness and their personal development. Coming back to regret. I used to say there are things that I regret, but here's the thing that I've learned. Sometimes you win and sometimes you learn. You don't lose. You never lose. I grew up hearing sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, but that's not true. And when you know better, you got to do better. You never lose. Nothing that you've been through, no trauma, no drama, no bad negative experience, whether you did it to yourself or someone did it to you, is a loss. You know why? If you pause around the experience and draw the lessons, you get the help you need to see it differently. You get the help you need to reframe what you experience. And in the reframing, you learn the lesson, and then you can retrain your mind to think differently. And then you release. The release is how you walk it out. Those circumstances, how do you walk them out? Because if we stay in the place of pain, personal power is nowhere there to gain. And in this last installment, I want you to walk away with that lesson and that truth that it is possible power from what you're going through. It is so important that we remember that. So we have to develop our personal brand, our personal power. And in doing that personal power, we have the potential to enrich our lives and the lives of those we do life with. If you drive, you've got to really stay on the road with making sure that you're not just on the accelerator, you're also on the brakes. And the brakes is when you're taking time off for self-reflection. Developing personal power helps you to overcome limitations. What are those limitations in your life? Did someone put them on you? Did you put them on yourself? Where did you hear them from? Was it a voice from someone else? These are things that we have to spend time around. And I have my alarm, guys. I forgot to turn it off, and I may need to, go back in and turn it off because it's going to keep ringing. But the important thing is that we cannot control what happened to us, but what we can control is how we react to it. How we react to it. And the three things that I want you to take away from today's session is that to become to be triumphant in your personal power, you've got to know these three things. You have to become self-aware, you've got to find your voice, and you've got to create your brand. And in doing these three things, this is how you're going to build your personal power. So become self-aware. You're saying you understand, I'm teaching today, y'all. You understand your thoughts and your feelings. You know what that feels like. You know your beliefs. You try it on and say, this doesn't feel right. You become self-aware. And you know, okay, these are my triggers. These are things that's making me feel this way. So now that you have identified the things of how you feel and how it's hitting you, you're becoming self-aware. The next thing you've got to do is find your voice. What does find your voice mean? to know more of you, and to have the freedom to become more of who you are. That is building your personal power. And the third one, this is the one that I need you to sink into, is to create your brand. Creating a brand is not just something for social media, it's for you. Everything starts with you. And here's the important thing, your brand is built on your core values. What are those things that are significant to you, that are non negotiable? For me, some of my core values are I'm supportive, I'm authentic, I'm resilient. And when you look at those and you kind of go through them and you break them down and you look at them, what does it look like to be supportive? As I do with my family, I also do with my clients. I am there to listen, to have active listening. I'm there to support you by helping you see things differently, being a good listener, a good friend, hearing your ideas about your goals, your aspirations, and encouraging you along the way. And also helping you to see things you don't see. It's important that we know what these core values mean. When you talk about resilience, resilience is saying the things that I've been through, I will stand on them and not in them. I will look at them and I will look at where I won and I will look at where I can learn, because I'm not losing. Sometimes I will win and other times I will learn. And that's where your resilience come in, and that's how you build your personal power. The other thing is you want to think about is humility and appreciation and courage. These are some of my core values. When I say humility, I'm not saying to let people walk on you, step on you, walk over you. I'm saying be humble. Don't get your head so big that you cannot get feedback and learn from it. Be humble that the gift that you have is not just for you, it's to help others. It's not just to make you look good and not pay it forward. Humility is using who you are, what you have, the things you have learned, the lesson you have learned, to pay it forward. That's building your personal power. It's important that we build our personal power by creating that powerful brand. What do you want to be known for? When you're no longer in the room, when you're no longer in the conversation, you have a conversation with someone and you step away. How do you want them to remember you? Were you encouraging? Were you thoughtful? Were you kind? Are you loyal? Do you have integrity? What are those things that you want to be remembered for? It's so important that we remember that building your personal power, you've got to have these three ingredients. You have to be self-aware. You have to find your voice, so you have the freedom to share from what you have learned about yourself and what you're standing on, and to create that brand that is powerful. It's going to pull you through those hard places. When we go through challenges in our lives, we've got to make sure that we reframe the pain so that we can retrain our minds to look at it differently. You look at it differently through the lessons you have learned. And when you've learned a lesson, listen, you want to share it with people. You may put it in a book, Patty. You may do a talk like this. You may go on podcasts. You may share it in other environment where you have an opportunity to share your story and the things you have learned. You help others to come up higher. You uplift. Your personal brand should reflect who you are, your authenticity. If you are authentic, you are willing and open to share what you have learned about yourself. Not hang up on regrets, but say, that over there I learned from. That right there made a difference in my life. I stopped by here today to remind you that you can triumph with your personal power. You've got to define what that looks like. You've got to do more of it once you find it. You can't keep it to yourself. You've got to help others, pull others up. Look back and bring forward those who are behind you. Where you are, you didn't get there by yourself. You stood on somebody's shoulder. Somebody was kind enough with you with a kind word. Somebody did something for you that encouraged you. Remember that and build that power that you can share with the world. You can encourage yourself. You can encourage others and to help them to know that they don't have to stand in their negative circumstances. They can learn from it. They can reframe it. They can retrain their mind to think about it differently and stand on it. Stand on your power. The power to be you, authentically you, who you are. Show up every day as you and lift each other up. Let's make a commitment to ourselves to find our power within. Find out who we are and walk that out. Live in the freedom of knowing your value, your worth, who you are. Be aware and share it with the world. I am your coach. I am your sister. And tell us how you're walking out this gift of your personal power. Have a great day, and may God bless you. Bye-bye.